Alright guys, so we're back in the world of Crystal of Atlan, and today guys I'm just gonna talk to you a little bit about early game progression. Recently a lot of you came by the stream. We had a really long stream today, and you want to know a little bit of how to progress, some of the things you can do, and most importantly I'm gonna be talking to you about what you're seeing on screen now, which is almost guaranteeing that you get something legendary to kind of start off your adventure at Crystal of Atlan. We're going to be talking about that all here in today's video. And before we dive on into that, guys, just keep in mind we are doing a giveaway for the pass. I want to make sure that someone has the opportunity to jump in and get the pass absolutely for free. If you're interested in getting your hands on a free pass, just make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and just leave any form of comment down in the comment section, and then just check the community tab later this week and I'll have a chosen winner to get a completely free pass. Just want to help you guys out. All right, first things first, guys, as you probably can tell, the first thing we need to talk about are characters and alts. So over the last couple of hours I've been spending a good amount of my time trying to get all my characters to level 30, which I was able to do. And yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that because there is something a little bit early that can really help you guys out. So as you guys probably saw in the intro, you guys saw that I was able to get a legendary item as well as a couple of epics, and I kind of want to go over my method of how I was able to do this. Now the thing you guys need to understand is the ults are very important, that you need to consider actually using them because they're actually going to give you a ton of value, mainly in the fact that they have the ability to give you free pulls so you can start pulling for different items that you may want. So all you need to do is come up here to this little box here in our top right, and you'll see that you have this thing called level up supplies. Now every single one of your characters have the capabilities of getting something, getting these items here. And as you can see, when you get to 10, 20, level 30, you're gonna get 2, 4, and then 7. And I did this with 5 characters. That means I got 35 free pulls. Now obviously you're going to eventually possibly push your characters to 60. You don't necessarily have to. I'm gonna do it because I want these extra 10 more pulls. And yeah, well actually this is 13 more pulls actually. But anyway, you're going to just use those pulls basically to come here and then summon whichever thing you want to summon. Now the one thing that you guys need to be a little bit careful of is if you use all 5 of your slots, you can't delete a character and you won't have room to make another class if you wanted to. That's why I went down the line and got 1 of each. Just keep in mind the devs, if I'm not mistaken, said that we're going to get an additional free ticket every time there's a new character. And then of course, as you progress your account, you're going to get a free slot. So if you want to double up on multiple characters, you can do that. If you want to do multiple of like different characters, you can do that. But in my opinion right now, I think if you want to help the health of your account early, I would highly recommend going out of the way and just leveling your alts to about level 30 and get these free pulls so you can start progressing. You want to get to level 40, you're going to get quite a few more pulls, and that's going to be something that's super important. Now for those of you who asked me about what you should spend it on, I'm going to go over what I think is like the most valuable thing. So right here you're going to be able to choose between 4 different things. It's the Blessing of the Sky, the Supreme One title, the Golden Title Signia, and the Paradigm Star Pack. Now I ended up settling on the Paradigm Star Pack, and the only reason I did that was because I got a pool that gave me a title that was 1,200 power, as to where the Supreme One is 1,600. It is 400 more rating, but having a weapon that is significantly higher rating than the one that we had, which was, I don't think I had a weapon skin, so this just gave me 1,200 rating, so that's kind of why I went with it. But my initial investment, if you guys had to choose between these 4, would be the Supreme One initially, and then I would grab the weapon pack. This is just for reference, this is being given away in CN recently for free, and while this definitely would have some pretty solid value, I mean, like, it's going to be really hard to be able to pull for this, seeing that you only get 1 piece per pull. So you get the, you max this out, and then what's going to happen is you're going to pretty much roll for 1 of them. And you of course can get a full set, but I just don't see why that would be of value when you can just grab something like the weapon, for example, and just get yourself a really high rating weapon. And as you can probably tell looking at my, and just to show you, just looking at what I got from just pulling from the weapon, while it's not necessarily the highest, it's pretty competitive and I didn't have to keep rolling for it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You can just, get something like this and just still be pretty effective. So that's my recommendation, but kind of do what you want to do. But yeah, Supreme One, this one, and then kind of pick between these two what you want to do. But I think the Supreme One is going to be the best. Now this leads me to talk about what you guys should probably do in terms of overall progression as you're progressing through the game, because again, I know a lot of you were a little lost on what to do, and yeah, I'm gonna just point you in the right direction of what you should be doing. So obviously, the first thing is just making sure you get your ults, as many ults as you're willing to like level up. Make sure you get your ults to level 30. I think that's really nice. Good little stopping point for most of your characters. Shouldn't take you more than 8 hours, give or take, or maybe even faster if you're like playing like I am. So that will be the first thing. The second thing is to come here over to where the swords are, and there's a lot of different things that you can do here that are super important. So the first thing is to do these tempered trials. The tempered trials are super important because they're going to give you free things to claim, and this is a daily thing. So you can see here, I'm getting this. Your currently best record is 20. Or sure you want to claim today's rewards. Rewards are based on your best record. You could claim it once per day, so aim higher. I can probably push for like 25, 30 today, but I'm just going to show you. And then you get some gold, you get some daily stuff. You want to make sure you do this every single day, and you have the opportunity of getting like all these different like items and stuff that you want to push for. So this is going to be something you definitely need to do every single day, and you can team up with friends and do it. I do it with my guild, but yeah, you want to make sure you're doing the temper trials. Now, if you haven't got to the Duel of Bonds, you can do the Duel of Bonds as well. More of these are going to open as we progress in the story, but as you can probably tell, I cleared these already, and they give me different type of like items and upgrades. It's going to give you expansion slots. These are all really valuable things that you definitely want to pick up. So make sure you go here and do this initially. Now the next thing is going to be arenas, and arenas are pretty tough. I was able to complete the first arena with a buddy, Corsitio. I'll have his channel linked down in the description. He's the one that actually got me into this game. And then you can get yourself a bunch of different rewards. I was able to get some upgrade rewards just to upgrade my character overall from just doing the arenas. But I do want to warn you, it is pretty tough, so you need to be pretty efficient. We barely got through it, and we had pretty solid gear. So yeah, this is going to be something you definitely want to team up with friends and do. So that's going to be a big one to do. It may take a bit of time. Another really important thing that you guys should consider doing is going to do the exploration out in the open world and the exploration bosses. Now, what I'm talking about specifically when I talk about the exploration bosses are, there's these bosses that you can go out to when you have these like little zones outside of the like major towns, and it's going to tell you, do you want to go out to the exploration and do some stuff? This is like on the outside of the world. And within these zones, there's going to be a combination of things you can do, like gathering items. There's I believe they reset every day the items that are gatherable, and this is going to help you with your cooking. This is going to help you with your crafting, like extra enhancement materials. This is going to help you with just making your character feel a lot better. On top of that, within these zones, there are going to be bosses that are level 30 as well as 40, and you need to go around and do all of them. Now, I did it with a team of 4 because they're, again, my friends and they're from a guild, but you can do these solo as well. I'd probably recommend you do it with a guild. And then you go ahead and go do that so you can continue to get the rewards. I think the actual boss rewards themselves are a singular time, but the gatherables are something you can do on a daily basis, so make sure you're doing that for sure. One other event I want to point out that's going to cost you energy that you definitely need to consider taking a look at is coming over here to the sword again and going to the adventure, and up here you can swipe between story and elite. And this is going to give you the elite versions of all this content, and you can do all these elite versions with your friends. They're going to give you their individual rewards, but they have better loot and things of the sort, and this is going to help you with crafting. So again, if you do have like extra batteries, you're not like progressing to the story too heavily on some character or whatever the case is, this is going to be something you want to consider doing. I'm right here in the elite story, so I may do both of these. I'm gonna progress the story and see how far my main can get, and anything left over residual, I'm gonna just use it for these elite encounters. So yeah, this is going to be something you can do, and there's elite encounters for the lower stuff, and you can do this again with your friends and just get all these extra bonus rewards. So just make sure you know that. Now, the last thing I want to give you guys a very quick fair warning that's super important, and you have 13 days to do this, so it's not necessarily a big deal. But over here, coming to the event where it says new voyage, this is going to last 13 days and 13 hours from when I'm recording this video. Now, the important thing to point out is this Twilight Gala outfit. Now, one thing that's important about this is usable on every single alt, and you're able to get one for every single alt. So I want to make sure you guys know that if you do decide to do like the old thing like I told you to do, make sure you come here to the Twilight Gala and pick this up, because you want to make sure that your ults have a base outfit. Even if you don't use those characters beyond just getting to 30 for those pulls, pick up this item before it goes away so you can have an outfit just in case you change your mind or whatever the case is in the future. With that said, that's gonna be it for this one. Just wanted to give you guys a very quick update on my progression and just kind of help you out a little bit. Tomorrow we expect something of my thoughts on each of the individual class video, maybe something like that, so you guys have a better idea of my impressions of it. Maybe you can share your experience as well. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff for the giveaway. I want to make sure you guys are taken care of and getting some extra stuff and stuff like that. And in the description I will have a code for you guys. I'm part of the creator program. They gave us something that can give you guys a discount if you are deciding to spend anything on this game. Use that code and it'll give you guys a little bit of a discount, so it'll help you guys out. With that said, guys, that's gonna be it for this one. I'm gonna get to bed. We got a lot of grinding to do. See you in the next one very soon.